All right. So we've got some bonus material then, Mr. Willis, I believe. We haven't chatted for a long time. I know in the episode we talked a little bit about JGB because I brought it up, but I'm sure you've got something to say, right?
I want to start with MGB, Graham.
Hey, that's perfectly okay.
Okay. Believe it or not, from such a short episode, I've still got some notes on it. IWA
Is this the one that was 21 minutes long?
This is the one where my last note is nice try, Mason, to add 10 minutes of zigzag to the end of the edit, dude. Nice try.
Yeah, I edited that out. He sent it to me, I deleted it, and then I forwarded it on to the guys at the network. Because he already told me he was going to do that, so I was on to him ahead of time.
Great for trying, though. Great for trying. Right, back to the episode itself. IWA in Indiana. It would have been my first guess it was Indiana.
Oh, it was? Oh, wow. Okay.
So I thought Indiana Wrestling Organization. That's what I was thinking. I genuinely thought that.
Okay.
Whether or not I'm right, that's what I would have guessed. Genuine question. What is it about Mount Warner for you, dude?
What is it about what?
Mount Warner.
What, why I like him?
Mm.
I think it's generally kind of the whole package. We kind of, Mason definitely likes that death fighter, deathmatch type thing right now, and he's certainly hard hitting. We watch him on we watch MLW together, or we used to. We haven't done for probably a few months now, but he was a character who's on there regularly. He has those harder matches. It's a lot more, probably more like your Attitude Era matches you'd see on WWE. On the indie scene, he has what I would describe as probably the best entrance theme. Somebody posted that this week. What's the best entrance theme on the indies? And first thing that came to my head was Mance Warner's. It's Leonard Skinner. Is it Simple Man? Oh gosh, I can't remember what it's called. It's something like that. It's annoying I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. And I actually saw Good Guy Dave post the same thing, and it just really works. It really works for him, and he's actually a really cool guy. I actually tweeted to him when we went to AIW in Cleveland, Christmas 2019. We're like, had a great time. Really wish we'd seen Mance Warner at the merch stand and tagged him. He responded. He's like, yeah, me too. I wanted something like that. You should just come and talk to me. I'm at the door. It's like, I'm always drinking a couple of beers afterwards. Like, he was really cool. Like, I get the impression from other people, like, he's just like a really down-to-earth guy. So I think that's something that's kind of always been impressive. But yeah, he kind of responds to tweets. A quality independent wrestler. That's what I'm saying. All right, go on. I can see you've got an angle here, though, but go ahead.
No, I haven't at all. I was just asking what it was, because you said that you liked him a lot, but I was wondering why it was you liked him. That's absolutely perfectly fine. Lovely.
Old man.
You briefly mentioned about underage wrestlers, very briefly.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking straight away. Because it's a dangerous thing, obviously, and unfortunately there was a precedent of it back in the 90s. Jeff Hardy definitely wrestled underage in WWE as well. Infamous did.
Yes.
As did a wrestler in ECW, Eric Koulas, who said he was 21 but just turned 17, known as Mass Transit. He was. He claimed that he was trained by Killer Kowalski. He had never wrestled in his life. He wasn't trained at all. He got in the ring with New Jack.
Oh gosh, I don't think this is going to end well, Matt.
It didn't end well. He passed away at age of 22.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow.
From complications from gastro bypass.
Oh, okay. Oof.
Yeah, so it wasn't wrestling related, but it was. It nearly got ECW shut down.
Oh jeez.
Thankfully, Paul Heyman was able to convince the network to put on their first pay-per-view afterwards. In the end, it was not pretty. It was brutal, and this is why there are regulations upon regulations upon regulations about ages, and that's why people have to be trained properly. And you can't just take it on the word of what he said. That's why I thought it was quite interesting that you brought it up. And I thought it's a very valid point. And that's what you've said to Mason, is if he wants to be a wrestler, he's got to do everything by the book properly. And that is the way you do things. Well done, you, sir. Round of applause. Round of applause.
It was
So
just
a lot
a
of
massive
parents.
mission in me when I saw his age and I saw what year he debuted, and I was like, oh shoot. That doesn't, something
Yeah.
doesn't quite add up there. But yeah, and in different states, who knows? I'm not sure what the rules are. Like obviously in England, there's very different rules for things that you can do at 16 in England is 18 in the States, or even 21 for drinking over here where it's 18 in the UK. So obviously different countries have different rules for different things. And I'm sure probably in the States there's probably different ages for different rules. So it might be you can wrestle at 16 in Tennessee. I'm picking that randomly because I don't know the rules for Tennessee. But yeah.
Right. Now it's time to move to the show which put me to shame in terms of length. JGB Superstars.
This is Mason's fault for trying to add in 10 minutes sneakily just so he could have a longer podcast than his brother. His brother was determined that that wasn't going to happen next week, and he didn't give me the chance at all.
We have discussed how much, because initially I was asked if I could actually watch along with you guys.
Yeah, you were. I didn't think we could carry it, to be honest.
I was unable to because of reasons offline.
Yeah.
But turned out you didn't need me at all. But before we get to it, I just want to mention Mason's introduction, very funny. Mason's first guest spot in over a year on a show it was an MGB, I think, as well. CM stunk. Well done, JJ. Well done, boys.
He says that every time now.
Now, time for me to do some stat checking with you. Okay. WrestleMania 25 has an army of Cenas as an entrance. Yes, it does.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Jackson was also right. WrestleMania 32, Rock beat Eric Rowan in front of 101,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
I
said WrestleMania 32, didn't I?
You did eventually, yes. But Jackson said it first.
Okay.
I care about the 1 second difference.
You want to know the difference between 1 minute 44 and 1 minute 45?
I care. This was a no holds barred and falls count anywhere. But obviously you couldn't hear that because of the volume being turned on.
In the end, it was one of the downsides, and we had that decision to make. Like, do we have some sound so like we can listen to it, or do we just go with it? And in the end, it was easier just to go with it, and it worked fine. It didn't make any difference really.
I was very impressed that Jackson knew about blading. Also, kind of scared that Jackson knew about blading.
I was absolutely shocked, and I tagged Nish Guy in that as well. I said, I think you're going to be pretty impressed of Jackson's knowledge of that. But yeah, I wasn't shocked necessarily that he knew about the process, but I was shocked that he kind of had like the fact that, Vince said no more of that in 2010. That's a very specific fact, which you don't expect from a 6-year-old.
You don't at all. And it was Randy Orton that Lesnar hit with his elbows to bust him open. Randy Orton that Lesnar used his elbows to cut him open with, and it was bad, obviously. And absolutely right, it was held in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Thank you. I still don't remember the name of the arena. I think it's something Paints, but I think it's the Penguin Stadium, but I just couldn't remember it. Yeah. One embarrassing thing that I missed is I got Troy Polamalu's number wrong. I said I think it's 47, and actually it was 43. I should. My NFL knowledge is not great. I'm more of a baseball person, but I should have remembered Troy Polamalu. But hey,
it's all good. It's all good, Graham. That's all I got this week.
It was a really fun record. We will be doing, like I said, I think I mentioned in the show, we will be doing it again. We're going to watch the Superstars, and at the end we will watch one match from the relevant pay-per-view to do at the end, because he enjoyed doing it so much, and I enjoyed doing it so much as well. We want to make it regular. And all right, we'll give you a little spoiler alert as well. We've decided for Mason, season 1 was pretty much Nova Pro and WWE. Season 2 was pretty much indie reviews. As it turned out, season 3, we had a lot of wrestling interviews, and then we had kind of our different format. We just had to do less indie reviews, but less. For season 4, we are going to focus on a particular wrestler and watch 3 of their matches And at Mason's request, we're going to do it in the watch-along format as well. So I might have to do my studying ahead of time to figure out to find out the facts, and then when there's gaps in the actual action, I can talk about that. So we're going to try that for season 4, just to do something a little bit different. But yeah, he kind of a bit jealous that Jackson did the watch-along. He was like, I said I want to do watch-alongs forever. I was like, no, you didn't. You've never mentioned it at all. I think we did one that one time, but that was about it. He only wants to do it because his brother wants to do it, but I'm okay with doing that. But I think that will be a good way of, because I kind of feel like we cheat in certain people. Like when we look at a card and we only watch 3 of the matches, that can be a little disrespectful. Like, I'm missing out your match, So if we focus on a particular wrestler and watch 3 of their matches, we also get to see some possible organizations that we don't normally see. And now you can search on PowerSlam TV and on IWTV. You can type in the wrestler's name, and it will just give you a list of their matches. I think that's going to be an interesting format for Mason to try and find out a little bit more about perhaps some indie wrestlers he doesn't know as well. Because he wasn't really familiar with episode on Monday is going to feature Thunder Rosa. He wasn't really very familiar with Thunder Rosa. Because he hasn't really seen her that much on indies, and he doesn't watch AEW. So it was kind of, I think that would be good for him to get an all-round knowledge. And at the same time, obviously he'll see her opponents or whoever we're reviewing that week. So I'm excited for season 4. Not that long away. Jeez. Valentine's Day, Matt. So we're looking like it's only about 3 weeks away right now anyway. So it's not long at all.
And of course, next week, it's Rumble weekend. So let's get ready to rumble!